Hello everyone, welcome to another video. Today we're gonna figure out why Gen Z is giving up. No idea if I'm a Gen Z. I was born in 98. No idea if that makes me a Gen Z or not. But yeah, let's figure out why people are giving up. What this person is saying. Anna Banana. Why is Anna Banana saying Gen Z is giving up on everything? Figure this out.
Imagine a world so cooked that giving up everything is actually a more logical career move than getting a degree. In China, there's a Gen Z trend called Bailan. It literally translates to let it rot. And
Okay, I think I've heard something about this slightly, where a bunch of Chinese people just don't do anything.
no, it's not a protest with signs and shouting. It's way more relatable than that. It's just not doing anything. Imagine 200,000 people in a group chat collectively agreeing that they just don't want to work today and going back to sleep. They even have a name for this final boss level, which is full-time children. That's
My question is, are they doing that because they just have they just know there's no hope to have anything in life because everything's just too expensive? There's got to be a reason why there's so many people in China doing this.
when you're 25, living at home, and your parents pay you an allowance just to exist.
Okay, so living with your parents at 25 years old, I think there's nothing wrong with that.
Pay you an allowance just
Okay, yeah. So living with your parents at year 25 or older, I think in this day and age is perfectly fine. As long as, of course, you're helping around the house, maybe paying rent, like helping them financially and stuff. I think that's perfectly fine. If you're 25 or over and you don't have a job, you have no interest in getting a job and you're not helping financially, you know what? Maybe it's time for you to grow up and realize that's not how life works. You're not going to get anywhere in life if you don't do something. Yeah, so home forever. Parents giving their kids money, I think that is so not good for them. Because that's going to give them no discipline to work towards a goal in life. Because I think to get motivation to work, you have to get a goal. And I understand things are very expensive, and trying to hit that goal seems very much impossible in this day and age. And it would be better off just to do nothing than something. But it's just not the right thing to do.
to exist because the job market outside is scarier than a horror game. And before you
And yes, I suppose China's work market is so very outdated and so very unhealthy. There's a reason why their suicide rate is so high, because they work to death. So I think maybe it is a smart idea to a degree in China, at least, where if everyone just stops working, maybe the government will intervene and say, okay, maybe we should probably get some laws out there to maybe better people's work environments. Maybe we won't have them work 16-hour days and 7 days a week.
say, oh, that's just a China thing, well, look around. You're probably watching this in a dark room at 2 p.m. on a weekday. The blinds are shut, and you've
Nope. Friday for me, 4:30 p.m.
got 3 half empty water bottles on your nightstand.
I just have an empty thing of Pepsi.
You're basically a full-time child. You just haven't updated your LinkedIn bio yet. Look, we were told that life was a simple RPG game. Go to school, get the middle class DLC, and profit for a living. But oh boy, the reality is way worse. Gen Z unemployment is peak at 10.5%. We're the most educated generation in history, holding 6-figure debt for degrees that are basically expensive.
I think that's why certain college degrees are a scam and waste of money. Obviously, there's good college degrees to get, like being a doctor, a nurse, and stuff. Things in high demand. Any college degree where you know the work that is in high demand and are needed, I think those are good. But there's so many college degrees out there that you're just throwing your money away, especially for the jobs that are not in high demand, and everyone's just trying to do what you're doing, and it's just not going to work out. I feel like the gaming industry is sort of like that right now. Is you're going to college or university or whatever to become a game developer, but it's so overpopulated that you're just throwing your money away. The odds of you getting the job you want are slim. So it's good to try, if you're going to go to university, to try and find an interest that you enjoy, where that work is very much needed on people.
Pencils. Applying for jobs that require 5 years of experience
Stop flashbanging me with a gosh dang resume. Oh my goodness.
for an entry-level salary that hasn't moved since the first GTA game came out. And when we complain, People will say that nobody wants to work anymore.
I understand that. I feel like wages need to go up. That's the problem. I've said it in the past. When I started working where I'm working now, minimum wage was, I believe it was like 11.75, $11.75, and now it's 15 cents away from what my job starting wage is, and they have yet to give anyone a raise. And I think it's like that everywhere. I know when I was working at A&W, I got my first ever 15-cent raise. And I was kind of disappointed. I was like, wow, that's like an extra $2 a paycheck. And then minimum wage went up and that raise was just vanished. I'm back to minimum wage. So I think it's just the wages aren't staying to what everything else is going up. And I think the problem is when minimum wage goes up, everything else goes up even faster. So I feel like I don't know how it could be done. I don't have a solution for this, but I think if we can find a way where minimum wage stops going up, but we somehow find a way to lower inflation so that minimum wage has a shot instead of just continuously increasing price on everything. It's just an endless cycle of things are going to keep going up to a point where things are going to crash and we'll have a big old money problem, which I feel like we're in to a degree.
So we started quitting. Not all at once, but in stages, like a slow motion car crash in business casual. In China, they have the let it rot trend. How about in the land of the free America? Well, we have something called soft saving. It's basically the financial version of let it rot. So instead of killing yourself to save for a house that you'll never afford for retirement, Gen Z is soft saving by spending their money now on things that actually make them feel alive.
Yeah, I feel like that's not really good though. I understand in the moment sometimes it's good to splurge a little bit on yourself, but I know also that when you feel like you have no shot at saving up for a house or anything, what's this one little purchase gonna do or this purchase gonna do at the scheme of things? You're happy now. I guess everyone sort of has a different mindset on it. For me personally, I'd rather sacrifice my now while I'm young towards hopefully getting like a house or something or paying certain things off so when I do get old, I don't have to worry about this stuff. I feel like if you're young and spending all your money traveling and all that stuff, I feel like you're having a good time while you're young, which is good. But I feel like long term you is now going to be struggling a bit because it's sort of like you can have a good time while you're young and then have a bit rougher time when you're older because now you want to try and save up and pay off certain things that you neglected or didn't work towards while you were young. And then or you could do vice versa, where you work really hard while you're young and you don't do as much fun things. But when you get older, now you have less things to worry about financially because maybe you were able to save up for a house and you got all these things now paid off and now you can enjoy your older years. So I feel like it's like sort of depends what you want to do at the end of the day. That's just my mindset. I'm only one voice. Everyone has a different thought on all this stuff.
We've traded the 401k for a 401 okay, I'm buying this latte. If the future is a dumpster fire, why not enjoy it now? Some people also do quiet quitting.
I think it's a bad mindset to have where you're like, oh, the future's screwed, so I might as well just give up now. I feel like it's easy to give up. I feel like it's a lot harder, hence why no one wants to do it. It's a lot harder to say the future looks bleak, but I want to work towards a future that I believe we can work towards to make it better, kind of thing. And to just give up won't help that bleak future that you believe is inevitable. I think it's always the best to at least try to change the outcome of the future because it's not written in stone until it's written in stone. And so yeah, that's my mindset. I'd rather work hard now, even if the future is bleak. I want to believe that there's something in the future that will make things a bit better, you know? Just my mindset.
You show up, you do exactly what's on the paper, and you leave the second the clock hits 5. No hustle energy at all.
I feel like everyone has those days where they sort of quiet quit, where they just go to work, do the bare minimum, and then leave. It's understandable. I can understand that. I have days like that. Everyone does. I think the problem is if you end up getting into a habit of always quiet quitting and just doing the absolute bare minimum. And I understand people's mindset is, why would I work hard for a company that doesn't even care about me, that would replace me within a day? And I can see that too. It's always a lot of, like, for me, I understand everyone's I can see a lot of people's perspectives. I work for a family company, so I feel like I'm seen when I do a good job. I got the boss one of like the owner of the place like saying good job. But I can see if you're working for a corporation, they only see you as a number. I understand that.
You're just an NPC that someone forgot to give a quest to. You aren't lazy. You're just performing at a low cortisol level for your.
I think also if they were to give raises, I feel like people would cut back on the lazy or the quiet quitting. But then it comes down to you get a raise and you'll be like, oh, okay, I'll work harder again. I won't be quiet quitting. And like a couple months later, you just slowly lose motivation again, even though you got that raise. Unless, of course, that raise was enough and you're like, yeah, I'm happy. I'm going to now work hard kind of thing. But I've noticed the one time I got a raise, I worked really hard for like a couple months and then it sort of just died down again to doing good. Like, I try to do my best at work all the time, but there's like different levels. Like, okay, I'm gonna do as much as I can this day, and then there's days where I'm like, okay, I'm tired. I'm just gonna do what I gotta do and then go kind of thing.
Own sanity. And then there are the needs. Not in employment, education, or training. Around 4.3 million young Americans right now are completely out of the system. They're not finding jobs, they're not studying, and they're not certainly planning for the future. They're just out from the system.
I wonder if brain rot's got anything to do with that. Like, yeah, I feel like if you're in that category, not even trying to do anything for your future, that's such a dangerous thing to do because I feel like you're gonna miss out on a potential future that you could have by just not doing anything now. I feel like a big part of it can be laziness, but like at the same time, it can also be a bad mindset of why do anything if the future's doomed kind of thing, which I believe is such a bad mindset to have.
I realized that the American dream that we're all trying to achieve was for a game that doesn't exist anymore. When the first domino of a career falls, everything will slowly fall too. If you think the trends are happening because people are just lazy, then do me a favor and try open LinkedIn. Entry-level postings are down 35% since 2023.
Yeah, I feel like I guess actually finding a job is difficult. And I think it also comes down to the motivation you have to find a job. I can't say for every place, but I know where I live right now. The A&W here is desperately in need for people. I know where my sister works. I believe they need a couple people. The Save on Foods where I live, they're hiring people. They need people. So I feel like if maybe some people try to leave the cities. I feel like the cities might be the hard part to find a job. If you're able to maybe leave the cities and find some towns nearby, maybe you'll have better luck there. But then again, I live in one part of the world. It can be way different, like a couple towns down kind of thing.
And youth hiring is down 45% compared to 2019. And the ones that do exist, well, AI ate them all. Companies are...
I feel like AI is just going to be taking more. Retail jobs, cashiers, they're going to be ones to go. I would imagine within the next 10, 15 years, we'll all have either self-checkout or robots doing bagging for us and stuff.
Using AI to replace the exact entry-level jobs that Gen Z needs just to get started.
I think that will just get worse and worse and worse. I didn't think about that, but yeah, no. AI will definitely take so many jobs away. I feel like there'll be a point where the government's going to have to intervene somehow to provide money in some way for people, because I can definitely see this. Either it's going to pop off and so many people are going to lose jobs, or people are going to sort of be like, no, you can't be doing this kind of thing, and there'll be some kind of law where you have to have people doing jobs. Because you can't just have AI take over a bunch of things and then a huge population of people not having jobs. And it's just going to bring the homeless population up, which is already a big problem.
Developer employment dropped nearly 20% by September 2025. Heck, even Spotify's own developers are using AI to do the thing that they're supposed to.
See, I got nothing too much against AI. I understand where it's useful and stuff. The problem I have with AI is when you abuse it for self-gain in a very greedy way kind of thing. Like obviously companies are going to be doing things for money, and they're always going to have money in the mind, and they'll save money where they can. And if that's to throw people away, well, I guess sucks to be them. But the decent thing obviously is to try and have people do work for your company and stuff. But I can see just those company people just wanting to save money where they can, and the best way to do that is unfortunately right now AI and firing people, which obviously has created a huge uproar.
To do. And then the hiring process itself became a game nobody asked to play. 75% of resumes get rejected by bots before a human sees them. You're not writing for a person.
I think so my brother works at one of the Dollaramas where I live, and he said it's so stupid because they don't take resumes anymore. They have to apply online, and that makes my brother's an assistant manager, so that gives him zero power to whom gets hired. It's the higher up people, like the cities that don't even live where we live. They get to decide who gets the job or not. And I'm sure they do have AI scanning the resumes and stuff. So my brother hates that. He was like, I wish we could get the resumes so we could look in person who we want to hire and stuff. So yeah, no, I can see AI sort of just throwing a bunch of resumes out. Like, oh, this person slightly doesn't have good enough grammar, or it's not long enough. Let's just shoot them out. Sorry.
Anymore. You're writing for an algorithm named Sarah. And some companies now use AI to conduct the actual interviews, like scanning your face, reading your micro expressions, and scoring your eye contact.
That's actually so crazy. I didn't know that. Imagine trying to apply for like A&W or McDonald's or something, and you're in the interview with an AI, and they try to do some like so we're gonna do like an example of you greeting a person, and you don't greet a person through what the AI thinks you should greet a person. Like the smile's not good enough, your facial features weren't good enough. Sorry, you don't get the job, kind of thing.
You could give the perfect answer and get eliminated because you blinked wrong. If you do manage
Yeah,
to
that's
survive
crazy.
the boss and land a job, what do you actually win? Well, you win the right to rent everything forever. Housing is bought up by the investment firms.
Oh my gosh, renting is a joke. An absolute joke. It's crazy how you can buy a house and the house payment is less than renting. I understand, and I feel like there's got to be some kind of thing like, hey, you've rented for 5 years. You don't worry about a down payment on a house kind of thing. I wish that was a thing, but I understand why it's not. Like, the banks don't want to risk their money for you. They'd rather have the landlord risk their money. And it's so frustrating, especially with the house prices, trying to save up like $20,000+ at the bare minimum just to get a bloody house. It's definitely unmotivating, but I feel like if you can even put $100 away a month, it's still achievable. It's just at the end of the day a lot of patience.
Cars are just way too expensive nowadays. Software and every app that you will have in your phone will be all subscriptions. We are moving toward a world.
I hate subscriptions. They're just going to be worse and worse. I've already went down to the lowest tier with the Xbox subscription because I just can't justify spending $33 Canadian before tax or whatever the other one's worth. Probably like $20 or something. Yeah, no, subscriptions are just getting more and more expensive. It sucks.
Where you own nothing and pay a monthly fee until you die. So what
They do say you'll be happy to own nothing.
can we do? What's the actual move? Do we just rot until this finally crashes? Look, there is no morning routine or cold plunges that fixes a broken global economy. Anyone telling you that is just monetizing your depression. But there is a way to stop being a victim of the glitch. Step 1 is having a 30-day system reset. The rules are commit to 1 hour every single day to learning a skill that the system cannot automate, whether that's a digital craft or a complex language. You set daily challenges to keep yourself productive, like refusing to snooze the alarm. Also set a monthly goal and a distraction penalty for yourself to be more disciplined. Step 2 is
I suppose, yeah, working towards something that can't be taken from you. Like, especially if you can do something that AI won't be able to take away from you for a while. I feel like being a farmer is a good one. Trades, I feel like that's still going to be a bit before AI takes over. I don't think where I work, AI is ever going to take over. It's sort of an older family company thing. So a lot of the things are more outdated than a lot of the more modern stuff from what they do. But so I at least don't have to worry about no AI taking over. Yeah, if you can find a job you enjoy where AI can't take over, I feel like that's the step. Or even become like an electrician. I feel like that would be pretty good too. But I guess that'd be in the trades category.
understanding the rot while you're doing this. You have to realize something. That part of you that wants to stay in bed, that your lazy side is actually a protector. It's trying to keep you under the covers so you don't have to feel the pain of applying for 100 jobs and getting ghosted 100 times. The solution isn't to kill that part of you, it's to acknowledge it. because staying in that place will ultimately kill you nonetheless. When you stop shaming yourself for being tired, you finally stop wasting energy on self-hate and start using it for momentum.
Yeah, I feel like a lot of people get into that rut where you go apply for some jobs and you get declined and you just end up wanting to stay in bed and just do nothing, and even getting out of bed is the biggest chore ever. And yeah, what she said, that's just going to end up killing you. You got to find it's easier said than done, obviously, but you got to find a way to get out of that rut. And a lot of it is just a mental mind game. Like, you have so much power over yourself from just your simple thoughts. Like, if you can get into the mindset of, I'm going to have a good day, things are going to go well, even if things don't go well, I'm going to look for a positive in this problem. You'd be surprised how much you can achieve by just fighting towards having a positive outcome in life, even when things aren't positive.
Step 3 is building your own future. Look, the real winners in this glitchy
And before what she says here, only you can create your future. No, very little to no one's ever going to help you achieve your future. Only you can. And then a lot of that is going to be self-discipline. You have got to force yourself to be like, hey, it's 5 a.m. in the morning. This is me this morning. At the time of recording this, 5 a.m. in the morning. I so badly don't want to go to work. I just want to stay in bed and sleep. I'm so tired. But you got to tell yourself you got to get up. You got to get motivated, because the only way you're going to achieve what you want in your life is if you get out and you work for it. And I feel like a lot of times you might feel like, well, I'm working my butt off and I feel like I'm achieving nothing. But if you keep at it, eventually you'll make it. That's why I work over 100 hours every 2 weeks. And I'm trying to make these videos also because I want to be able to achieve something in life more than just laborious work. I want to hopefully maybe one day maybe be able to do something I enjoy more and have my own kind of hours and stuff. And the only way to do stuff like that is to work your butt off. And it sucks. It's not fun, but you gotta, if you want to achieve anything, you gotta work for it.
economy are the ones brave enough to build their own lanes from scratch. And no, this isn't just about starting a business to make a quick buck. It's about deep passion and real-world value. Look for a problem in the world that actually keeps you up at night and decide to be the ones who solves it. Whether you want to be a creator or make a business, do something that you are actually passionate about. Look, the system may feel like it failed you, but it's not your fault. You are still the one holding the controller.
I agree. The system, to a degree, has completely failed all of us. But it comes to the mental mind game of, am I gonna let this system be the one to control me, or am I gonna take my own life and not let the system control me and work towards hopefully maybe bettering the system? And if not doing anything with the system, find a way to better your life.
Now, get out of bed not for a company that will replace you with a bot to save 5 cents, but get out of bed because the new world needs people who are awake enough to build it. The world right now may seem like it's rigged, but you're still in the game. Don't forget to subscribe, and I'll see you on the next video. Goodbye.
What an awesome video. I feel like I made this video into this 6-minute video into probably like 20 plus minutes. Yeah, no, awesome video. Awesome video. I'll subscribe. Yeah, you all give this lady a subscribe. That was awesome. Yeah, at the end of the day, I just want to say this is what I talked about is my take on things. I know everyone's going to have a different mindset on a lot of these topics I just brought up. And I'm sure there's people that are going to disagree. But I'm just one voice out of millions and billions of people on this earth. I know at the end of the day, I won't be able to change the system alone, but with friends and other people, eventually maybe one day we can change the system to better for us little people out there, Anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Let me know what your guys' thoughts are. Y'all have a good one. Take care, and God bless you all. Peace.